day to our fellow viewers and welcome back again to our channel. For today's episode, me and my friends are going to share to you our realizations and life experiences from the previous topic.
The word end denotes that we've finally reached the finish line. Death, on the other hand, does not only strike us when we are old and weary. Nobody sees it coming. Death is utterly unpredictable, and the ephemeral nature of life has taught me to value and appreciate time. Time is something we often take for granted because we believe in the notion that they will always be here. We don't treasure the little and simple moments we have with each other. In relation to our topic, one thing I realized is that we must cherish every living moment we have with someone. This will save us from regret because life is full of uncertainty and surprises. Yes, contemplating the end is frightening and sad, but the constant what-ifs bears the same weight, or even worse. This reminds me of that one specific day that I learned that I've lost a friend. A childhood friend, to be exact. We're neighbors and I've known her for practically my entire childhood. However, as I grew older, I became more distant from her, which is natural as we age. But I had no idea that our final encounter would be our last. I only found out about her death from my parents after several months had gone. I didn't know how to react or feel. All I knew was that I cried. It took a while for it to sink in that I will no longer see her. I won't be able to see her lovely curls, her gummy smiles, or her round cheeks, that I won't see her anymore. I have a lot of regrets. I have so many things I wanted to tell her, but are left unsaid. It may seem like I'm overreacting, but that time I really felt like the world fell apart. It felt like the end of the world. In hindsight, I can say that it demonstrates the importance of valuing our time. Appreciate them while they're still around. This friend of mine has a beautiful name. A Bread song written by David Gates and released in 1973. That's her name.
I realized a lot of things after learning about our topic. We must value time because it is precious. Time is irreversible, meaning we should use it wisely because we can't go back in time and change the things we did. We can only change ourselves so that in the future, we won't be making the same mistakes. During the first months of the pandemic, I was happy because we didn't have school, no assignments, no project, and no classes. So we had time to do the things we like, and the only limit was we weren't allowed to go out. So, as a person who likes playing video games, I was happy because I could play the whole day without worrying about tomorrow, until it became a routine. I would usually wake up in the afternoon and have breakfast. Then, after eating, I would play for the rest of the time, until dawn. Sometimes I would sleep around 5 a.m., just playing with my online friends. And the only break time I had was eating and taking a bath. I didn't realize I've been wasting too much of my time. I could have done something more productive or managed my time well by allotting time for different things and not only just with playing. Thankfully, I realized that I was in the wrong direction and I was still able to change it. Because if we are still alive and breathing, we always have a chance to do what is right.
Doing something right when you have the chance to do so is an easy thing to say, but it's hard to apply for some people, including me. It is actually simple. We just have so many excuses trying to delay what we are supposed to accomplish on a certain time or day. Let me give you an example of what happens in our home on a daily basis. When we finish our meal, a pile of dishes needs to be washed, but I personally tend to scroll through my phone and do other things before cleaning. That's when my dad would tell me, "Mamaya ka ng mamaya, unahin mo yung hugasin sa baba dahil maghapon na kayong nagsiselfone." And at times, I would follow him, sometimes I don't. And this scenario also applies in our spiritual life. We tend to put God second in our list. We even give conditions to God before we do what pleases Him, like, "God, please give me a sign, then I promise I'll be good." My takeaway from this lesson, before the end of the world happens, I hope we stop broadcasting everything we do or will do. Let's stop saying things we don't mean and just work in silence to actually accomplish our goal. Do it while you still have time. Urgent or not, it doesn't matter. It is better that we give effort and time to those who are in need, little by little, than nothing at all. I used to say that it's okay to do something in another time, given that I'm still young and for sure there would be plenty of time and opportunities awaiting for me in the future. But when pandemic happened, that's when I realized I should have done this a long time ago. Because along the way, it's more than just the time passing by. Everything changes. Now I'm urging you to do your purpose for today. It doesn't have to be something grand or the usual productive vlogs or routine that you could watch on YouTube. It could be as simple as to help your mother, prepare the breakfast, give food to the man you see on the street, to pamper yourself since you had a long day, and pray a simple prayer before you go to sleep. Everything we do matters. We do not specifically know our purpose in life aside from the ones stated in the Bible, but as much as we enjoy the ride of life, at least drive the way with a direction.
End of the world is one of the most common concepts that some people fear, and I am one of them. But I tried to delve deeper with its concept and realized that it is not death that we fear. We are frightened with the idea of not being able to achieve success and the dreams we have in mind. We are scared to leave our loved ones behind. We do not want to die without accomplishing the goals we wanted to. And we are afraid of the manner of our death that is destined for us. One thing I've learned from the topic assigned to me is that we will never know when the second coming shall occur, because even the Bible does not give us an exact date on when the judgment day shall come. Which is why the only thing that we could do is to be prepared all the time. Let us always turn towards God and away from whatever dishonors Him. Use your remaining time here on earth by loving people dearly. Offer help to others who are in need. Be forgiving. Being kind won't cost you anything. Always grab every opportunity that comes your way, because you'll never know if you will still be given a second chance. Wake up in the morning and choose to love. Just like what a courageous woman said, mas radikal ang magmahal. Spend every day as if it's already your last day here on earth. With that, you'll be able to see the things you haven't noticed before, because now you are starting to appreciate it before they're all gone. Lastly, learn how to pay respect to the organisms here on earth. Take good care of our environment. God has given us the opportunity to share a life here, and in return, let us value the things He bestowed upon us. As they say, every day is Judgment Day, always has been, and always will be. As an individual, I have already experienced an instance wherein I felt like it was a judgment day for me. And that's the time when I came to school without being ready for an oral recitation. I was too complacent that I'll be able to answer my teacher's questions properly without studying the lessons. When my teacher arrived and started pulling out our index cards, I was rattled and nervous because her questions were tricky. At that time, I was starting to regret because that recitation will definitely affect my grades if I won't able to answer it clearly. When it was already my time to answer, The question I got was difficult and I answered it insufficiently. My teacher gave me a disappointed look because that is not how I normally enter her class, unprepared. At that moment, everything started to sink in. That if I continue doing that, it would only turn into a cycle that will be hard to break in the future. If I won't offer my best and give effort, then I'll probably fail and won't be rewarded with success in the future. You'll be caught off guard when you come unprepared. And if the second coming of Jesus arrives and you're not ready, just like with the recitation that happened to me, then you'll be left behind. Because Jesus won't wait for you. Because you were given sufficient time to prepare yourselves and yet you are still not ready. Which is why that specific instance that I encountered created an enormous impact in my life. I promised to myself that I will always come ready so that I'll be able to stand my ground and face any battles in life.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1 to 8, states that for everything there's a season and a time for every matter under the heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing.
I remember a quote that says, "It's never too late." Every day we are given a chance to live and do things for God. So let's not waste it and start living with a purpose.
Now, I'll leave you with a passage that is close to my heart from Psalm chapter 90, verse 12. It says, "Teach us to number our days, that we may get a heart of wisdom."
Let us bear in mind that by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail.